I got an email yesterday from someone asking if I could make a message on the problem of being too nice to worldly people. And what she meant by this is not being able to say no to someone when you know that, say for example, they have worldly children that may corrupt your children, but they want you to babysit them, and it's hard to say no to them because you're trying to show the kindness of Jesus to them. We have to really get good at letting our yes be yes and our no be no. I want to share with you a certain example. When my wife and I worked at the hotel, it was owned by an Indian couple, and there was an Indian family who was living at the hotel. And they often made Indian food there, and they did a lot of really nice things for my wife and for me. But we noticed after a while that they were offering the food to their idols. They would always be worshiping their idols in the back, and we didn't feel comfortable with this food that was offered to the idols and then brought to us to eat. And we wanted to be a good testimony to them about Jesus Christ. So one day, this lady, her name was Harsha, she brought food to my wife that she had homemade, but we knew that in the back she had offered them to her idols. And my wife had to tell her no. And it was kind of embarrassing for my wife, not because she's embarrassed of the truth, but because as a friend of Harsha, and because obviously we want to stand up for Jesus, it was a hard thing to tell her no. But we don't want to eat food that has been offered to idols or pretend that we worship those idols also. So my wife had to learn to let her no be no and tell her that that's a nice thing that you're doing to offer us food, but we worship a different God, we follow Jesus, and we don't feel comfortable eating your food that's been offered to an idol. Likewise, at a different time, a few years later, a different couple that was Indian, they were moving, and they wanted me to help them move their gods that they would worship in their living room. And I knew these people for many years, and they had done many things for my family, and it was awkward for me to tell them, no, I can't touch your gods. But at the same time, as a disciple of Jesus, I'm not going to help trailer someone's Indian gods around when I follow Jesus Christ. This same thing has happened to me when someone has wanted to move and they've asked me if I will move their TV, help them move their big flat screen. I just tell them no. I want to be helpful to you, but I don't touch people's TVs because I follow Jesus and TV is idolatry. So this can make people really upset, guys, but we have to, as Christians, learn to let our yes be yes and our no be no, and we need to learn to stand up for the truth, and we have to have a backbone standing up against idolatry and things that we know are crooked. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be awkward or people's feelings aren't going to get hurt, but we absolutely have to learn to have a backbone to say yes when we need to say yes and say no when we need to say no, and stand up for the truth of Jesus all the time. A lot of times this will make things socially awkward, of course, but our faith in Jesus is much more important. So I hope that we learn to really take a stand with Jesus Christ, no matter if it's socially awkward or if it's going to make people upset, because at the end of the day, it is Jesus Christ and His salvation that is going to save us, not if we don't miss a beat in the world. We're going to miss a beat in the world, guys. People are going to think that we're awkward. They're not going to like us. They're going to downright hate us sometimes for being in the truth with Jesus. But it is Jesus Christ who saves us, not the world, not worldly people. And we have to learn to just stand up for what is right all the time. I hope this helps someone out there be encouraged to stand up for the truth and to be a light to the world, to encourage others, your neighbors, whoever is around you, to really come into the truth and follow Jesus Christ, because he is our Savior. He is the one that loves us, and he is the only one who can offer us everlasting life. So we shouldn't be ashamed to stand in the truth with him. May the grace of Jesus be with you.